J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Please scan the QR code to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Thank you for standing in the gap.
Nothing will stand in our way, and our golden age has just begun.
This is Human Events with Jack Posobiec.
Now it's time for everyone to understand what America First truly means.
Welcome to the Second American Revolution.
So John 8, if I'm drawing from memory correctly, best embodies both Christ's mercy and love, but also his commitment to truth. And sometimes in the modern gospel, we overemphasize the grace and we underemphasize the truth.
Yeah.
And so we are far too willing to say, hey, Jesus loves everybody, but we don't get to the second part of the conversation that says Jesus doesn't want you to live in sin. For those of you that are not yet believers, it's very simple. You're going to have a court date, we all die, and you're all going to meet the supreme judge of the universe. Justice is getting what you deserve, which is going to a not so good place. We're all sinners and we all fall short of the glory of God. But thanks to the cross, a perfect, loving God who came down in human form, human flesh, lived a perfect life and died for us so that we can live forever. At that moment, when we're about to get that sentencing into eternal damnation, somebody says, no, 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 I know him. I know her. Welcome to eternal life. You have an opportunity. The gospel in 4 words is Jesus took my place. 3 words is him for me. 2 words is substitutionary atonement. And 1 word is grace. Grace you cannot earn. Grace you do not pay for. It doesn't matter how much money you give to the hospital. You can't earn it. It doesn't matter if you're a good person. It doesn't matter if you have always done the best you can, because what's different about Christianity is that it's a gift for all of humanity to receive regardless of everything that we have done.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily. Today is September 15th, 2025, Anno Domini. I'm here live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm in Charlie's studio. Charlie's chair is right next to me. And Charlie's here. And in a way, Charlie's everywhere, because he's with all of us, and he's with God, and his spirit will always live on. And if you just heard Vice President Vance right there in the final segments of hosting the Charlie Kirk show, he said it. He spoke plainly, and he was blunt. This is no accident. There is a violent extremist movement in this country, and it is not a both sides issue. One side has government taxpayer dollars and billions upon billions from the billionaire elite, funding them, propping them up, distributing their cancerous message. And it is cancerous. Because when you have a cancerous ideology that is completely disassociated with humanity, the only possible answer to that is to cut out the cancer. We have to cut out the cancer. Because if we don't, it's going to eat our society, and it's going to eat all of us, bit by bit. And we need to do it for Charlie. And more importantly, we need to do it for everyone. We need to do it for our country. We need to do it for God. And, you know, look, folks, I'm no neurosurgeon. I'm not trained in those arts. But, you know, I know someone who is. And in fact, he's joining us right now. His name is Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, thank you so much for joining us today.
So good to be with you under tragic circumstances.
Absolutely. Dr. Carson, I compared what Vice President Vance was talking about to a cancer, you've got the background in this. Would you say that's an inept analogy?
Yeah, I think it's a very good analogy. You know, things have changed in our country. There was a time not too many decades ago when people on the right side of the aisle and people on the left side of the aisle could have their arguments, but they were still friends. They could still go out and eat dinner together. They didn't try to destroy each other because basically they wanted the same things. It's just that they had different ideals about how to get it. Now we have two sides and they don't want the same thing, and that's a big deal. We have a side that is progressively moving towards socialism and communism, and some people think this is of recent origin. It's not. It's been going on for decades. And if you look in the congressional record, January the 10th, 1963, more than 60 years ago, Congressman Herlong of Florida read into the record from The Naked Communists, a book by W. Cleon Skousen, the 45 goals of communism in America. And they included things like getting control of the school system and the teacher union so you could indoctrinate the kids, gaining control of the major media and Hollywood so that you could change the culture of our nation. And we're seeing the fruits of those things. There are many, many other things that they've said that we've seen happen as well. And we need to understand that we're under attack. Our system is under attack. We can't passively resist it. We have to actively resist it. This is America that we're talking about, all the things that it stands for. And you heard just last week a United States Senator say, it's foolishness to think that your rights come from your creator. They come from government. How can that be going on in our country? But it is because we allow it. And we have to make a decision about who we are and what we're willing to fight for, or do we just want to capitulate?
And Dr. Carson, you know, it strikes me that it was just 2 days before what happened with Charlie that you and I were both there at that Museum of the Bible, that incredible prayer event that the president commissioned, his commission on religious liberty, where he spoke with, again, directness, fierce directness at that senator's comments and said, no, that is not where our rights come from. And if we sever our relationship with God, as so many in this country have spent decades trying to do, we will sever our very relationship that provides us with those rights. And then that is when you get to the point, as you say, in the communist, Marxist, radical goals, where we begin to believe that others do not or should not have those rights as well. That is the godless communist basis of what ultimately led to what happened with Charlie. I firmly believe there's a direct line there.
There's a doctrine that they have. It's the same kind of doctrine the radical jihadists have. They believe themselves to be righteous. And because they are righteous and everybody else is an infidel, everybody else must either be converted to their way of thinking or be done away with. And we're seeing that kind of philosophy creep into our society. It's very dangerous. I think these people who are toying around with socialism and communism and saying, oh, they're not that bad, they're actually okay, they really need to do some reading. They need to find out what has happened in the past. Everybody who adopts their system adopts it under false pretenses. But once they get their iron grip around you, you can't get away. We need to understand that we have a system in this country that is absolutely wonderful. That's what Charlie always talked about, and that's what he was fighting for. And he recognized the incredible danger that we were in. He tried to bring that to people's attention, but he always did it in a respectful, a nice way. Let's hear your argument, let's hear my argument, let's compare them. Let's deal with facts and logic and common sense. And I think that's what we need to continue to do. We need to really push the idea of putting the facts in the middle of the table and arguing around the facts, not around ideology.
Well, I think that's exactly right. And because Charlie did that, and because they couldn't debate him, they assassinated him. And because he had the facts on his side, he had truth on his side, he had righteousness on his side, they assassinated him. And yes. I just don't know how you take that. It is a minority of people, but it is a significant minority of people who would do something like this. And then you wake up the next day and there's tens of thousands of people celebrating it, cheering it. It's become mainstream almost. And I think some of the talking heads were saying, they were originally blaming Charlie for it. They were saying it was his fault that he got assassinated and he should have watched his words or else something would happen. That is a tyrannical, anti-humanity kind of mindset.
It actually is. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's part of a plan to silence the opposition, to frighten them into silence. And, if this one doesn't do it, maybe there'll be another one. We have to be very vigilant. And people need to understand that this is a real war that we're in. And, there were people who had information who could have reported what was going on and perhaps stopped this. And there will be people out there all the time who see things. We need to recognize that this is a war and you're a participant in it. You may wish to go sit in the corner and hide, but eventually it affects you, so you may as well get involved right now.
I think that's exactly right. Dr. Carson, can you hang on for a couple of minutes? Are you able to hang on with us?
Absolutely.
We're going to hold on. Dr. Ben Carson, when we come right back, we'll continue. Justice for Charlie Kirk.
Hello, my friend. Pat Boone here. You know our country's under financial assault like never before. Our government has put us $34 trillion in debt. The interest alone is more than we spend on military defense. And what's worse, other countries no longer believe the U.S. is a safe place to invest. There's a growing international movement to dump U.S. dollars at a record pace. Some economists say this may signal the end of the dollar. Now, these countries are instead buying gold, and I'm suggesting you do the same. My friends at Swiss America have been helping Americans like you and me for over 40 years to buy physical gold and silver for delivery to our homes or held in our IRAs. I've trusted Swiss America for nearly 25 years now, and you can trust them too. So don't wait. Call or text the number on the screen today for financial peace of mind in these troubling times.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
I'm a J6er, and I spent 3 months in jail and about a year in prison.
I spent 4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been smeared and defamed by the media, persecuted by the government, and treated like terrorists.
In reality, J6ers are patriotic men and women, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers from all walks of life.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
And we need your help.
For just $10 or more, you're helping these patriots get mental, physical, and spiritual help.
Please scan the QR code or go to j6support.com to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Thank you for being a patriot. Thank you for standing in the gap.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable power plant, smart pressure sensor, and custom nozzles. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Get your complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for just $79.99 and get free shipping. Plus, we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
Nothing will stand in our way, and our golden age has just begun.
This is Human Events with Jack Posobiec.
Now it's time for everyone to understand what America First truly means.
Welcome to the Second American Revolution.
So John 8, if I'm drawing from memory correctly, best is the most awesome thing ever, everybody. It's amazing. I could be traveling for 6 days, but as long as we get one Sabbath, it makes up for all those 6 days. No phones, no technology, just family and quality.
Well, and it's quality over quantity. And, you know, when Gigi sees you walk into the room, she just beelines for daddy.
When it comes to your child, you are tasked to protect them both physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You as men are a lot tougher and a lot more productive and can work a lot harder than you think. You can push yourself even harder. Because here's the one thing I have found. Once you have kids, there is this primal thing that comes into you where if you think you have worked hard before, you are willing to go to the ends of the earth and push yourself in ways that you never thought possible. And that is your initial and most important task as a father. We need to celebrate, embrace, platform, and sometimes, if necessary, subsidize getting married and having children. We are not having enough children in this country. This is a national crisis. I don't want to hear about, well, you know, racism is a threat to America. It's a bunch of horse pucky. Oh, environmentalism, climate change. Do you know what a threat to our country is? We're not having enough babies. We should celebrate big families. The wealthiest people that I know are the ones with biggest families. Big families, they are never lacking in purpose. They are never lacking in direction, and they're never bored. The most unhappy people in America are bored. Boredom is a gateway to deep unhappiness. Raising children is hard. It is a death to yourself. It is one of the most difficult things you can do.
Jack Posobiec, we are back live, Phoenix, Arizona. We are in the Charlie Kirk Show studio. Of course, Charlie on assignment with God. Dr. Ben Carson is our is our guest. And Dr. Carson, I'd like if you could to address this, exactly what the vice president just said there in his closing statement, that this is not a both sides issue. And we've heard so many talking heads lately say, well, you know, there's political violence on both sides, so let's just be anti-violent, and it's really a both sides issue. Is this a both sides issue, Dr. Carson?
This is clearly not a both sides issue. This is not to say that both sides don't have some cleaning up to do, but all you have to do is think back to George Floyd and what happened after his death. Billions of dollars of damage, dozens of people killed, fires and attacking the police station. I mean, it was incredible. And what has been done in this case? Vigils, prayer, and contemplation. Completely different. I don't know how, anybody can say those are similar reactions. And one of them, I think, stems from the fact that it is God-inspired, and one of them stems from the fact that it is inspired by evil. And we need to just face that. This country, the founding document talks about our Creator. Our Pledge of Allegiance talks about being one nation under God. Every coin in our pocket, every bill in our wallet says, "In God we trust." And God is love, and God is justice. And it was our faith, our belief in God, that took us from a bunch of ragtag militiamen to the pinnacle of the world in record time. That was not a coincidence. That was because of our belief systems. And some people say, yeah, but you can't say that because the United States of America had slavery. Well, that was a horrible thing. I will readily admit that. But so has every other society. And one of the things that, you have to give us credit for is we had so many people who were vehemently against it that we fought a bloody civil war to stop it and lost a large portion of our population. There are good things about the United States of America, and it's the reason that we have a dream. You've heard of the American dream. Have you heard of the Russian dream? Or the French dream, or the Canadian dream? I don't think so. You heard of the American dream. Everybody knows about it all over the world. And it's a desirable place to be. And it's where dreams come true. And now we're faced with a time of severe division that could ultimately destroy us. Jesus said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And our enemies understand that, and that's why they're using every tool they possibly can. Race, gender, income, religion, politics, you name it, they're using it to try to divide our society. They can't overcome us militarily, but they can destroy us from within. And there's a great attack upon our foundation. What is our foundation? Our families and our faith. And you made a very good point about the birth rate and what's happened to it. In the 60s, it was 3.6 births per woman. Now it's 1.6 births per woman. You can see where that will lead. And we need to once again embrace the ideal of the family. And we need to embrace policies that are pro-family and that are pro-faith.
That's exactly right, Dr. Carson. And when we get faith right, you know, I was thinking about something, and we said it here in Charlie's studio the other day when we were doing one of the many memorials to Charlie that we're doing, is that maybe you could streamline it and say, you know, add to what Andrew Breitbart always taught us, that politics is downstream of culture, but you could streamline it and say culture is downstream of faith. And if you get your faith right, then your culture will be right. And if you get your culture right, your politics will be right. And that is why when, as you say, when they went back to the 1960s, what was the first target was God and the family. And that's why we always talk about it. God, family, country, in that order. One of my old, phrases, we used to do the Turning Point t-shirts, be a rebel, start a family. And just that's Absolutely. a rebel act in today's day and age. Well, I've done that. Charlie did that. You, Dr. Carson, have done so much for so many families who have had families in trying times. And I just want to say thank you for being here, for speaking out on this cancer in our society, and of course, your kind words for Erica and for the children and the entire Kirk family. Thank you, Dr.
Absolutely,
Carson.
And thank you for what you're doing. And we have to just remember there was a reason for all of this, and something will come out of it, but we have to be part of making that happen.
Amen. We do. God is challenging all of us, and God is clearly on the move and using this as a turning point. We'll be right back. Jack Posobiec.
Guys, if you plan to retire in the next 20 years, or if you've already retired, I have a message for you that you need to hear. Central banks, BRIC nations, and our allies are pumping trillions of dollars back into America, but every dollar they send could make your savings worth less. Hi, I'm Donald Trump Jr., and I just want you to be prepared for the future. So protect your hard-earned savings with gold. A gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group offers you the safety net of gold with the tax advantage status of a retirement account. To see how it's done, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. This kit reveals why gold IRAs are exploding in popularity, so do it now. What do you have to lose? It's free and there's no obligation. Click the link below to get your free info kit from the Birch Gold Group.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
Just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Please scan the QR code to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Thank you for standing in the gap.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Call the number on your screen.
Call 1-800-854-0295.
And Jack, where's Jack? Where's Jack? Where is he? Jack, I want to see you. Great job, Jack. Thank you. What a job you do. You know, we have an incredible thing. We're always talking about the fake news and the bad, but we have guys, and these are the guys who should be getting Pulitzers.
Trump get reelected what? City
Times to be organized and orchestrated chaos.
They call everybody they disagree with Nazis.
I felt like I had no choice but to do what I did.
So yeah, kill the Nazis.
When conditions become right, people do get the opportunity to change the whole system through a revolutionary struggle.
International Revolutionary People's Guerrilla Forces work to defend social revolution around the world.
We gotta fight it out. We're gonna remake this country in the streets.
Liberals get the wall first.
Someday, we gotta knock those motherfuckers to control this thing right on their ass.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we're back here. Phoenix, Arizona, Turning Point headquarters. And guys, I'd love if we can at some point, I don't know, even for the bumpers or for like, you know, maybe the box up in the corner there, I'd love to show that the vigil for Charlie Kirk, that this incredible vigil that's going on is just a few steps away from where I'm sitting right now here inside the Charlie Kirk studio, and it's incredible. I've gone to it. You know, I go out there and come back, and it's you know, we're keeping the lights on, we're keeping the mission on, we're keeping the mission going, we're staying mission focused here, but at the same time, you just see this incredibly spontaneous outpouring, not just here at Turning Point, but also it's worldwide. It's completely worldwide, and the remembrances of the man who sat right there, sat right in that chair, that have been going on are nothing short of a miracle. We are in the turning point. But at the same time, there are people who refuse to join in because we can't deny, and we're not going to be blind, and we're not going to be deaf to the things that we saw and the things that we heard after the news of Charlie Kirk's assassination broke worldwide. The celebrations, the cheers. I actually want to get, we're going to call for this on the fly in the studio. I want you guys to pull out that clip. There was this rapper, this Bob Villain came out and was cheering at a concert. I want to play that. Take a second and we'll get that clip up, when we do, because I want people to hear this. I want people to hear how pervasive and sick and cancerous and disgusting it is. Erica Kirk, she stood right here giving that amazing statement, speech, eulogy, memorial, battle cry for her husband. This wasn't a car accident. This wasn't a plane accident. What was done to Charlie was a deliberate and intentional act of evil by evildoers. They assassinated him because they could not debate him. And then they turned around and cheered. And whether it's Antifa, whether it's the radical trans movement that was just shooting up schools of Catholic children in Minneapolis, and 2 years before, Christian children in Nashville. And you're going to sit there and tell me it's both sides? You're going to sit there and tell me? Oh, Jack, what about the both sides? No. We're not doing that anymore. We're not playing that game anymore. I don't care anymore. How many more friends do I have to bury until we can stop this? No, because I'm not burying any more friends. I'm not leaving any more people. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to the next level, and we're going to the J.D. Vance level. That's what we're doing, because the organizations are out there. The people who had pre-knowledge of this are out there. Go read the Free Beacon. Go read the article. You can see the tweets are all up. I haven't addressed this. I've seen it all. And the people mocking, the shaming, the humiliating will continue. Call all their employers, every last one. Do not stop calling. Mayor Giuliani, America's mayor, is a patriot. He has been calling them personally. Keep it up. Keep it all up. Violent left-wing extremists did this. They assassinated a good, innocent man. And this cancerous ideology will be stopped. It's as simple as that. I want to bring on State Senator Jake Hoffman. He's here from Arizona. He's also, of course, a huge part of the Turning Point family. Senator, how are you?
I'm doing well. For the considering all things, I'm doing okay right now.
Of course. I just want to say thank you for your efforts and your words at the Kennedy Center Vigil last night.
Thank you. Yeah, that was an incredible God-filled opportunity last night. I mean, not just how he spoke through me, but how every person that spoke. I was amazed because they all had one consistent refrain, Jack, and that was that Charlie lived to honor Jesus in all that he did. If that's the biggest takeaway, Charlie wanted that to be the biggest takeaway from his life. But if that's the biggest takeaway from last night, I think that is the best thing we could have done to honor his life and his legacy. Because what we see is that his impact, it stretched far beyond just college campuses. From South Korea to London, we've had millions of people pouring out to honor Charlie Kirk because he was slain at the hands of a monster, an assassin's bullet. And last night, we saw the highest echelons of American government, of world leadership turn out. We had over 85 members of Congress. We had about 25 to 30 senior administration officials there in the room. The Speaker of the House was there, gave a beautiful, tribute to him. Tulsi Gabbard, DNI, everyone is willing to double and triple down on Charlie's vision for America, which thankfully is shared by MAGA, is shared by President Trump, and is definitely shared by Vice President J.D. Vance. And that's, we want to build a greater, better America. We want to unite us and unify this country. We do not want to fall to the level of the party of death and division and destruction that is the Democratic Party today. I mean, you talked about the vile filth that is online. Blue Sky has been an absolute cesspool ever since. I remember the days when Parler, I'm old enough to remember when Parler was taken offline for 0.1% of the posts on the platform being considered vile and hateful, yet Blue Sky is run amok with celebrations of Charlie's demise, and yet nothing happens. It tells you where Silicon Valley still stands at its core, and we've got to make sure that we reorient the conversation in a direction that Charlie would have liked, and that means open, honest, and free exchange of ideas, no matter who you are, no matter what you think. We want to be able to talk through it, and then we're going to go our separate ways, and everybody gets to go home to their families at the end of the night.
Look, it's as simple as that, and that's and beyond, because I see big names on the left, YouTubers and others saying that, oh, it wasn't a leftist, or oh, Charlie deserved it, and all this. It's I'm done. I'm so done playing these games. This was your side that did this. There is a grieving widow. She stood right here, delivering that speech, and I'm done playing the game. I'm done this little dance. This little happy, funny little dance that they want you to do when you have a job like this. I'm not playing that game anymore. No, I'm absolutely not playing that game anymore. It has to stop. It simply has to stop. If people want to go back and just have the debates, I'm all for it. Please. That's what Charlie stood for, right? Charlie stood for that, and he stood for prayer. And he always said, come to church, whether or not, and there was beautiful churches were packed like Easter Sunday yesterday. He would say, come to church. I don't care what your politics are. Just go to church. Just go to church, meet Jesus. He cared about that way more than any politics, way more. And what did they do? Right. They turned him into a Christian martyr. Jake, I know you got to run. We've got we're running out of time in the segment. Where can people go to follow you and see everything you're up to?
So you can follow me on X at Jake Hoffman AZ on X.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. We're right back. Jack Posobiec, Phoenix, Arizona, from the Charlie Kirk studio.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, ride your bike.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, smile big and bright.
Thousands of kids just like me are happy every day.
And it's all because of generous people like you who support Shriners Hospitals for Children every month.
All you have to do is call the number on your screen or go online to loveshriners.org right now with your monthly gift.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children is able to make an everyday miracle happen for kids like me.
If you're happy and you know it, dance around. If you're happy and you know it, play a song.
If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it.
If you're happy and you know it, take a shot.
And when you call or go online right now to donate $19 a month or more, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you and a reminder of all the smiles you're bringing to kids' faces every day.
Will today be the day you send your love to the rescue?
When you call the number on your screen right now and give as little as $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, you'll be making a life-changing difference for a child, just like Sarah.
Your monthly gift today could change your life forever.
Because of you.
We are happy and we know it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please call or go online right now to give. If operators are busy, please wait patiently or go to loveshriners.org right away.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you.
Call or scan for your free writer's guide today.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need, and discounts for seniors and military.
Jack is a great guy. He's written a fantastic book. Everybody's talking about it. Go get it. And he's been my friend right from the beginning of this whole beautiful event. And we're going to turn it around and make our country great again. Amen.
This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this right here is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this is you. And this is their reaction when you are killed. This is the joy they feel when your sister is raped, when your children are castrated, brainwashed to hate you. This is their ecstasy when the floor of the subway car is awash in your blood. This is you. Make no mistake, that is a symbol, that is you. But this won't last long. They can't help themselves because they're so ugly and so low that the only joy they can experience, the only good that they can envision is to take something beautiful or innocent down to their level. And when they can't do it, the next best thing is blood.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns was, were. Because if you touch shit, you will get banned. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and peace.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we're back here, Phoenix, Arizona. I know we had to bleep a lot in that last clip. That was Bob Villain. And he was saying horrific things, cheering on the death and assassination of Charlie Kirk, my friend. And the people were cheering, an entire concert hall full of people cheering. I want to bring on now someone who was in the fight with us, deep in the trenches with us in 2024, and that man's name is Cliff Maloney. Cliff, welcome on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jack.
How you holding up, brother?
It's been rough, man. I got to tell you, sometimes going through all this, we're almost to, a week? I don't know if it's quite hit me yet. Seeing Erica's speech, getting the chance to talk with Tyler, seeing Andrew on TV. But I got to say something to your listeners out there. Watching your CNN speech, or your interview, I should say, it hit real hard, man. When they asked you, is this war? And you responded with, my friend Charlie's in a box. That was tough. And I don't say that to bring about hyperbole or sensationalize it, but Jack, you as a friend, to hear you say that about a mutual friend in Charlie, and then to have to explain to her this was not an accident. He was not in some sort of car crash. This was a targeted, specific attack to take out a good friend of ours because they disagree with his politics and they could not defeat him when it came to having conversations or winning an argument. I just thought it was wild. So I just want to thank you for going on there. I mean, look, you compare that to the great memories we've had over the last, not just a couple of years, but even just the past couple of months, winning the election November 5th, us getting the call with Pennsylvania. I mean, I'm trying to focus on some of the positives, right? And you remember election night where me and you were battling with Charlie and saying, Charlie, we got to call Pennsylvania. We got the votes. And Charlie was having his PTSD from 2020 of calling it too early. Those are the things I want to remember him by. Those happy moments of him being so deep in this fight, and not just being in the fight, but us coming together and winning in 24. My big message to everybody out there, we are just getting started. We are at the next level. We are pushing. We've got everybody amped up, obviously feeling horrific about the tragedy, but we're not going to give the other side what they want. We are not going to stand down. We are going to double down, and we are going to defeat these radical lefties, these communists, and we do that by winning election after election, throwing it back in their face, pulling the normies to our side because they don't know what they've unleashed with this horrific, heinous act.
I want to make something very clear that I don't know if people realize this. So the shot where Charlie is, and Cliff, you and I were on this sort of hyper-viral moment where we make the Pennsylvania call and you said it, and then Erica runs in the room here in this very studio right here, and she runs in and she's hugging Charlie, and he's got his head in his hands and he's praising God. That's the very same spot on earth where Erica was standing delivering the memorial speech to her husband. That's the very same spot. So from the happiest moment to the hardest moment. And it was in the same spot.
Jack,
and it didn't happen by accident. It was no accident. It was done deliberately as an act of evil. Go ahead.
One comment that I think I'd never put that together until you just said it. And that is when you and Charlie both agreed in harmony on election night, it's all God. You know, listen, I'm not the most devout Christian, right? I've had my moments, but when I look back at that, that was a moment where I really felt at peace with God, with Jesus Christ as my Savior, to see two of the guys I trust the most after we announced this huge win, after years of sacrifice and doing the work, for you guys to both turn to each other and agree, it's all God. And then to see what has happened since this tragedy of so many people turning to the church, turning to God, atheists proclaiming they're now going back to church, friends that I know that have just been non-practicing, whether Protestant or Catholic, who now say, you know what, I'm going to pick up my Bible again. I've never talked about religion on television, and I'm here telling you that I think we are seeing something with Charlie now being a Christian martyr. But to think about that night, you're right, we were in the same spot, calling the election where we had that moment saying it's all God, and Erica delivering that statement that was heard around the world. I really appreciate you putting those two together because I had not thought about that, and there's got to be some deep meaning there.
It's something. Look, we can't know it. God knows it. God above knows it. Christ the King knows it, and that's where Charlie's at right now. He's with the King, and he's on another mission. He's on another level. He's on another mission. But it did happen, right? This was their response. That's why they did this to Charlie, because Charlie beat them. He beat them at the election box. He beat them in debates. He beat them on campus. And the way they responded was with a bullet, because that was the only thing they had left. Hey, fascist, catch, written on the casing. People need to wake up. People need to wake up. You need to wake up. You all out there need to wake up. Because I'm upset about what happened, but I don't want to sit around feeling sorry. All right? You need to lock in. Everybody needs to lock in. J.D. Vance is locked in. Cliff Maloney is locked in. Are you locked in? Because it's time. Cliff, give your coordinates.
The PA Chase, that's where you guys can check us out, pachase.com. I'm going to hold on any pitch here, Jack, and just say, look, we are doubling down. Pennsylvania is the red wall. Follow us online. You can check me out on X @Maloney. This is all for Charlie. And those are the two words I'll end with to you, Jack. For Charlie. That's why we fight.
Don't back down. Double down. It's time to lock in. Ladies and gentlemen, you have my permission to lay ashore.
Yep, your worst nightmare. Your car broke down. Now you're worried if it's going to cost you a fortune in repair bills. unless you already call CarShield, the legit #1 auto protection company in the country. When you're protected with a plan through CarShield, the process is smooth like ice and done in as little as 3 steps. 1. First, the tow truck takes your car to the shop. The cost of towing, covered when you got a plan through CarShield. Next, you probably need to get around while your vehicle's being repaired, right? 2. Plans through CarShield have rental car options too. Then comes the best part. 3. When you pick up your vehicle, you don't have a big repair bill to worry about. CarShield administrators get your covered repairs paid directly to the shop, so you're back on the road with no worries. Call now to get an affordable plan through CarShield for your vehicle before it's too late. When you call CarShield, whether you got a small problem like a power window motor that could cost a few $100s, or a big problem like an engine or transmission that could cost you thousands of dollars, you're taken care of. CarShield is the #1 auto protection company in the country, and their administrators have paid out more than $1 billion in auto repairs. That's billion with a B. CarShield is the choice that gives you the CarShield guarantee. Your rate never goes up,